Recently, I have not really been motivated to create videos, and I thought of an idea for a video, and it's the discussion between motivation and discipline. What are their pros and cons, and why are they so different? A lot of people believe discipline is more important than motivation, but I'm here to talk about both equally, and I think they are both equally as important. So let's begin. I will first talk about discipline. I think discipline is very overrated, and I think discipline, though people can have it, it does not make you do things more. I mean, I'm a very disciplined person because I go to the gym practically every single day. I do a lot of things on my own every single day, and it's just a habit. But I have a lot of reason to believe discipline is not that important. And I'm going to say the big word as to why that is the case, and that is purpose. Discipline without purpose is useless. Lack of purpose leads to many things that discipline is bad for. And the biggest one is burnout. You cannot keep doing what you were doing. And I feel that at the gym. I really don't have a purpose anymore because I've already built an ideal body. So me going there now is just, I don't really know why I'm going. I'm just going for the sake of going. It's discipline, but what's the purpose behind it? And I think a lot of people don't talk about that enough. It is also kind of a slave mindset because you become very rigid and you're obsessed with routine and productivity, which in my opinion that is an extremely bad trait to have. Mainly because personally I never follow a routine. I go to the gym at whatever time I want, I eat at whatever time I want, I do whatever I want at whatever time, and I don't really care about the consequences of it. And the reason I break routine is so that, I have a bit of variety in my life. Things aren't so monotonous, and I think that's what discipline causes, a lot of monotony. It is way less exciting and you get a lot easier bored of it. And my final point to discipline is that it's hard to build from the very beginning. I want to talk about that more because this links directly to motivation, but I'll give it a moment. I want to talk about some of the positives of discipline first. The first and big one is consistency. You do something whether you like it or not, and that is an extremely good thing because you can achieve things from doing something consistently. However, building up that consistency is difficult. It also produces long-term results, with most achievements come from repeated actions over months and years. I've been doing different activities. I mean, the gym, I'm still bringing this up because it is the key foundation of what discipline is about. I've been going for many, many years, 6+ years. It's almost 7 actually. And I keep going because I am disciplined in going to the gym. But there's many more things that I do that involve discipline more than motivation. Now, I'm not really sure this is a pro, but you do reduce decision fatigue, so you don't decide every single day, you just do it. I personally don't agree with this, but it is something that some people might want to have in their life. And you can also work during bad days, even though you might not want to. Discipline can carry you when motivation disappears. These are all the pros and cons of discipline. Now I want to talk about motivation. And I'm actually going to begin with the pros for motivation because I think some of these get overlooked a lot. So the biggest thing is great for getting started. I mean, that is the one big thing about motivation that's very important because the initial momentum you get from that boost of motivation is key. That's how a lot of things begin. That's how you begin a fitness journey or a business or a hobby or literally anything. That boost at the beginning is what carries it early on. Of course, long term this boost fades, but initially it is very important. You need this, and a lot of people need this more than anything. The next thing is that it is easier for hard work. What I mean is you can do things that are difficult because you're motivated and you feel as if it's more enjoyable regardless of what it is, and you don't force yourself to do it. And that is a very overlooked thing because some tasks are extremely difficult to begin. It's like starting an essay. Do you really want to begin it? It's motivation that sparks it, which, speaking of sparks, it sparks creativity. Motivation is often emotional and it helps you generate ideas and enthusiasm for whatever you're going to do. And I think creativity is lacking these days. Having an idea and trying to pursue it is very important, and a lot of people don't do that lately. And I wish people did. Maybe the world would be a better place if they did. And the final positive thing is it gives direction. Why am I doing this, you might ask? So what it means is you gain purpose. This is why motivation is very important, because it gives you a purpose to do something. Discipline can never come without a purpose, and this is what the struggle with this balance between motivation and discipline comes from. But of course, there's downsides to motivation. Firstly, it's unreliable, and it will work some days it won't. And during the course of whatever task you're doing, motivation fades and discipline starts to take over instead. But here's the thing. If you are motivated, you will do something better than if you are disciplined. Because discipline means you're just doing it. It's like going to work, right? Are you motivated to go to work? No, you're disciplined to go to work. Do you like it? No, you don't. But if you do like your work, all of a sudden productivity goes through the roof because you're motivated to do it. Motivation is also depending on emotion, which is bad. Stress, bad sleep, rejection, or failure can destroy motivation. This is very true. But it's not just that. A lot of things can destroy motivation, including repetitiveness. Repetitiveness kills motivation. In a way, discipline kills motivation. That's not a very good thing. The other thing is, it can create a cycle of waiting, because you'll start to say, I'll do it when I'm motivated, but that never comes. And then you're just stuck and you're doing nothing, basically. So it is very variable. And final point is, it doesn't survive difficulty well. Motivation is strongest at the beginning because things are easy at the beginning, most of the time. Some things are definitely not. Like starting a YouTube channel is a pain in the ass in the beginning. And progress usually gets harder before it gets easier. Now, obviously, there is a graph that proves this as well. Where the graph, it's like the gym, really, like building your body. It starts a lot more vertical at the beginning, and then it slowly becomes horizontal towards the top. And that's progress with basically anything. But you see, that early motivation is what gives it the boost. And I think, personally, now I'm going to compare the two, and I'm going to personally say, I think motivation is more important than discipline. Because if you don't begin something, then there's no point for discipline to even exist. At least if you're motivated and you stop it after a while, you did it regardless. Discipline only exists if motivation is there from the beginning. And I think a lot of people overlook this. And people think that discipline is more important because you become more consistent with it. But there is no consistency if there's no beginning to it. And I feel this every day with whatever task I'm doing. If I'm not motivated to do it, chances are I might not even do it at all. So the discipline part of it is gone, kind of. But at the same time, discipline is important for certain things. I mean, I have to go and clean my house. It's not something I enjoy. It's not something I'm motivated to do, but I still have to do it. And in a way, that's discipline. But then again, it's you have to do it. It's not really a choice. You don't have to be disciplined to do it. You just do it. But something like doing an assignment, you're given a task to do. You're probably going to do it better if you're motivated rather than just doing it for the sake of passing whatever you're doing, or work for that matter. You'd better off find something that pays less but you're more motivated to do than something that will give you a better income but you hate it. And I think a lot of people try to overshadow motivation with discipline because they believe in the long run it's more important, which it is, I will say that. But everything has a beginning. And if that beginning is not strong, discipline won't exist to follow it up. There are some people out there that want to begin certain journeys, fitness journeys or educational journeys or whatever. And the thing is, most people start it and then don't get to finish it and don't continue doing it. But at least they did it. They did something. Even if it was for less time, at least they began something. Yes, obviously they left. But it's better than not doing it. At least you did it. Even though if it was for less, at least you got the experience. And perhaps, perhaps one day you'll realize that maybe, just maybe, you will return to it. You'll gain that motivation again, you'll try it again. And you'll remember how it was, and you might do it a little bit longer. And if you try, you might stop again, you might get the motivation again, you'll do it a little bit longer. It's like this. The journey isn't one straight line. You start something and you just keep going. I mean, for me personally, the gym, I'd stopped 2 times before. One wasn't by choice, it was because of COVID. But the other, I kind of fell off. Like, I had other things to do. And I couldn't continue. But once I got to it, the final time, I stuck to it and still stuck with it even now. The thing is, even though I don't have a purpose for it right now, like back then I had the purpose of building a great body so I look like some of the video game characters that I play. That was my motivation. But and the goal was to get a good body, which I eventually did, and it was a great achievement. I'm proud of it. But I'm still continuing going to the gym even though I don't have a purpose. And the reason is, well, because there is kind of a purpose. You see, health is a thing, it's a fact. And this isn't just for the gym, there's a lot of things, even just education, that continuously doing something will give you some sort of prolonged value later on. But here's the thing, that value isn't as much as those initial phases. Like now, if I stop the gym, I will have already achieved what I had wanted. But the thing is, if it starts to drop off and my body doesn't remain strong, my health will slowly decline. Obviously, I'm not going to get sick overnight or something, but I won't be as strong as what I would be. And this is for a lot of things. You won't be as good if you stop. So the conclusion is both discipline and motivation are important. Motivation is better early on, discipline for the prolonged run. But I will say that without motivation, there is no discipline. But the reverse is not the same thing. Both have their values, but without motivation, there is no discipline. I think that is the key takeaway from the video. And people should not overlook motivation as much as people overrate discipline a little bit, and I kind of disagree with where it's rated. And this is the video to counter argue that. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Maybe you have a better reasoning as to why you'd value discipline more than motivation. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. See ya, Chads.